Hey, welcome to the Dray Way. I'm Drayton Nay. I'm your host. I'm very glad you're here. You're here on a spectacular, beautiful, sunny day. Look at the day behind me here in Vegas. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm glad you're here. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Just know on this show, you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me. So let's get started. Let's go! Welcome to the Dray Way. Look, I don't know if you play football, but, in football, of course, every year in the draft, quarterbacks are drafted, and, the quarterbacks are paid big money. They start their first game, their second game, and after a few games, you kind of get a hint at what the quarterback's going to be like, especially after 3 or 4 games. You kind of get a hint. You kind of know if you have something or not. With Donald Trump, we're at least a dozen or 2 dozen games in with this guy, and it's time to replace him. It's time for him to go. He's a horrible quarterback. I mean, we've let him play far too many games at this point. If he was in the NFL, he would have been benched a long time ago. He is an awful president. Donald Trump is terrible at being president. He's no good at it because he wants things just his way. He doesn't want to take consulting. He doesn't want to listen to other opinions. He wants everything done his way, and he's not smart enough to know what to do in every situation. No one is. But the really smart people realize that, and they take advice and guidance from those around them that can offer good solutions to problems. Donald Trump doesn't do that. Donald Trump isn't even interested in that. He thinks he knows everything. That's why he is so dangerous. That is why you do not put someone like him in the White House. It is the worst person to put in the White House because he thinks he knows everything. And we know what happens. We all know somebody. All of us know somebody that is a know-it-all, that knows everything. That now, all you got to do is ask, and they'll have an opinion on just about everything. That's Donald Trump. And when you think you know everything, you know nothing. That is one thing about wisdom. That is the pure definition of wisdom. Is knowing that you don't know it all, knowing that you aren't that smart, that you got to depend on other people that have insight and information that can help guide you. That is wisdom. Does Donald Trump have any wisdom whatsoever? No. He is just a bull in a china shop, and he just pounces around breaking stuff, and everybody has to, pick up the pieces after he's done. But that is what is going on right now. Donald Trump is really, really bad at his job. And his approval numbers are among the worst I've ever seen. And they keep falling. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse for this man. And it's getting worse because nobody is helping pull this man out of a tailspin. Nobody is walking up to this man and saying, Mr. President, maybe we should take a look at this in a different way. No. That's not being done. And a perfect example of that is who just tears apart the East Wing of the White House? How big of an idiot do you have to be that you think you can just start tearing up the White House with no approved plans, with no nothing, with just, hey, we're going to get started and we're just going to wreck the whole, East Wing of the White House. The White House, by the way, that doesn't belong to Donald Trump. It's not his house. It's not his place. It's the people's house. It's the people's place. But that's just another illustration of Donald Trump doing whatever he wants. But now, after almost a year now, we can all see that he is horrible, not bad, horrible at his job. He can't do even the most basic functions. He can't do the most basic negotiations. All I heard about with all this tariff garbage was how he was going to go country by country and strike new great deals. Where are all those great deals? It's been a year, Mr. President. Where are all of these wonderful deals with all these countries? I don't see it. In fact, all I see is people struggling, small business struggling, and it's all struggling because of you. And it's struggling so bad that now we don't even have job numbers anymore. We don't even have a GDP anymore. We don't even have official government numbers anymore because Donald Trump doesn't want to have them because they're bad, because he sucks at his job. Donald Trump sucks at being president. And I mean sucks. I mean it to the truest definition of the word. He is just really, really terrible because here we are a year into the presidency, and what has he accomplished? What has he done for the American people? How has he made life better for anyone other than really, really rich people? He hasn't done a thing. He hasn't done a single thing that is going to help Americans have a better life. Not one. And the guy has the House, the Senate, the White House, and the Supreme Court. He has it all. And he can't accomplish one simple thing. That's because Donald Trump sucks at being president. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. Part 2 to the Dray Way coming up next. This message is for GM and Ford. GM and Ford, I am tired. I am tired at looking at all the recalls, especially when it comes to your engines. How on earth? You guys have been building engines for 100 years. 100 years. And you can't figure out how to build a decent, good engine? You can't figure it out? You have engines that are just faulty and having to be recalled because they're garbage? You've been doing this for 100 years. 100 years. And you can't figure it out. Billions and billions and billions of dollars spent. And you still make things like shit. Your engines are still garbage. And I would like to know how you can do that after 100 years. How can you not figure out, especially now when, over the last few decades, the technology at your hands, the billions of dollars spent, and you still put out garbage. Somebody tell me, somebody help me out. How is that possible? How come you just can't, especially with the money that you charge? Oh my God. And these cars and trucks, $70, $80, $90, $100,000. And you can't put a decent engine in the thing? An engine that you can reliably sit there and go, yeah, this is a well-built engine, and this engine's going to go and go and go and go. You can't do that? You can't figure that out? You've only been doing the same damn job for 100 years. 100 years. Can you imagine, a toaster, for example? We got to take this toaster back. It just won't toast. We can't. It's been 100 years making a toaster. We can't figure it out. No. It's not true in anything else. But except for you guys just can't simply figure out how to build a decent engine and stick with it. Once you find a really good engine, how about you stick with it? And if you make it better, make it better. You have the technology, for crying out loud, but it must be a matter of will. You just don't want to make a better engine. You like making garbage. You like making crap. I have no other explanation. If you have one, I would love to hear it because I'm tired of the recalls. Ford and frickin' GM, it's just one recall after another, after another, after another. If you can't do your job, get out of the business. I would think after 100 years, you could build an engine. I know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but I'm fed up. I can't believe you can't build a decent engine and you've been doing it 100 years. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't go anywhere. Part 3 to the Dray Way coming up next. We need to get rid of Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is a war criminal, in my opinion, and needs to go. He needs to resign today. Yeah. His orders regarding kill them all have been confirmed by numerous sources. Numerous. And the guy needs to go. The guy's a liar. The guy is horrifically bad at his job. He's at a job that he doesn't belong in. He literally doesn't have the experience or knowledge to be in the job that he's in. We've never had someone so inexperienced at that job. And it's showing. And it looks like he's performing criminal acts. I guess a court will decide that eventually. But from what it looks like, there's Republicans and Democrats now going, this guy's just dangerous. This guy doesn't belong in being the head of a Dairy Queen. I mean, this guy needs to go and needs to go now. And if you haven't read about it, read about, what this guy has done, and read about how Republicans and Democrats are finally we have Republicans going, yeah, wait a minute, this guy might be unhinged and dangerous. Yes, Pete Hegseth stepped down. Pete Hegseth stepped down immediately, because in all likelihood, you're going to, at some point, be facing criminal prosecution. Yeah, that's what I would be worried about if I was Pete Hegseth, because it just seems like this guy is unfit for service, and it's going to take Democrats and Republicans coming together to get rid of this guy, because once again, Donald Trump is a horrifically bad president and doesn't want to admit when he's done something really, really stupid, which is very, very often. And having Pete Hegseth in the position that he is in right now it's just dangerous. And I think Republicans and Democrats are going to come together to put enough pressure on Washington to get the administration to move on Pete Hegseth. I think Pete Hegseth's days are numbered, because between Hegseth and Kash Patel, they're not doing their jobs. They don't even know what to do. They have no experience. They don't know what they're doing. From what I understand, Kash Patel just flies around in planes to look important. He's not actually working. He's just flying around on planes doing social events. So between the two of these knuckleheads, yeah, they both should step down. They both should be gone. That's just me, of course. That's just me. I would love to know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe to the show. There's a new show each and every day. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. That's it for the Dray Way today. Please check me out tomorrow. And please hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow right here on the Dray Way. Have a good day, everybody.